Hello everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are watching this video. My beautiful name is EMMALINE, and today I am so excited. I am so overwhelmed. I am feeling so happy. We are having an amazing lineup in the building. Don't mind me. I am so happy, honestly. We are in the month of June, and we are celebrating the men's health, mental health awareness. And we are dedicated to shedding light to the struggles that men go through. And we want to open up, a conversation. So in the building, I'm having amazing people that are ready to talk about this. And I want you to take a cup of, coffee, a glass of wine, whatever suits you, water, because it's about to go down. We want to speak. We want to save life. At the end of this whole conversation, we want to save a life. We want to motivate. We want to encourage. And we want to say that suicide is just a permanent solution for a temporary problem. So we want to provide solution instead of always waiting for things to go wrong. This is an ongoing conversation. Of course, we cannot exhaust it within the day, but we shall be, coming around every time with, things like this so that we can be able to help someone who's struggling. So in the building, I'm having amazing people here, and I would like to introduce them. Starting from my left here, you can introduce yourself.
Thank you so much. My name is Andrew Musu. They call me Endelea. I am happy to be here.
Okay.
We talk about men's wellness.
Thank you. Huyo ni mzee endelea hiyo tutatafuta meaning baadaye, but wacha sasa tuseme tunaendelea to the next person.
Okay, my name is Mulel Kelly Sibi. Mr. Auditor. I'm happy to be here.
Wow. Hapo tunakwanga na unaitwanga kuna wisdom cracker. Like this man is full of wisdom, So you can imagine what you need to expect. You should be able to tickle your mind a little bit. So next we have a
good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
My name is John Makori. I'm happy to be here.
John Makori in the building. You guys, do you know what you're missing? If you have not watched, or you are still, tell a friend to tell a friend that this conversation has started and John Makori is in the building, and it's about to go down. You want to talk about these issues. John Makori is another amazing, individual who's full of amazing stories, and you can't be able to miss this. Next.
Thank you. My name is Maurice Kitonga. Let us talk about men. Let us talk about
Yes. I love that. Let's talk about men. It's all about men. We're going down.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Asena. Happy to be joining in this conversation. I am Mama Boys, so I'm willing to learn one or two things for my boys.
Wow. That is very amazing. Honestly, we want to save our men. We want to save our husbands. We want to save our brothers. It's all a conversation that is so deep. We are not taking this for granted. It's a conversation that needs to keep going. They said that you behave what you listen. Yeah? So when we keep on making this conversation, we should be able to change a whole lot. So thank you so much for those who are watching. Please, put down your comments there. We want to hear from you, your opinion, your thoughts, your critiques, your questions. We have an amazing panel here that will be able to answer all your questions about what you think that is disturbing you. So without further ado, I really want to come down to you guys. Like, why are you having problems to speak out? Let me start from there. Why is it that it's an issue for you to speak out? I want to start with my friend here, Maurice. What is that you guys are having an issue to speak out? Why are you scared, though?
I don't want to say it's being scared.
Okay.
But generally, you find that a man is in his own world from the way you are brought up, from a baby, as a boy. You find that it is almost perceived as a weakness when you share your feelings, when you speak honestly about what you feel. In a way, the societal expectation of a man and what a man should look like puts pressure on the man to not be able to tell his friends anything. And when something happens, people say, I was with this guy, he's been okay. So they don't understand. And that is what we need to discuss and find out what can happen or what needs to be done so that men can be able to speak up. Another thing, you find that a man is wired almost to be a lone ranger. Women have groups, chamas, and even just some lady friends who they hang out. And when they hang out, they are able to share their personal issues. When men hang out, they discuss football, politics, and not something personal. Even from a tender age, when you meet a boy on the road and he's with the mom and the boy is crying, you tell the boy, "We nyamaza wewe ni mwanaume bwana, wacha kulia." Now, these things, by the time the boy is of age, let's say now somebody who is working in life, then he cannot know how to explain his struggles, be it at work, at family. So it becomes almost a cultural and innate thing, a personal thing. We don't know how to speak, but we are here to discuss and be able to open up.
Wow. Okay. Okay. And Kelly, maybe your thoughts on that?
I think I agree with him. Men don't speak primarily because of the society setup. The society expects a man, only from the biblical point of view, that a man is the head of the family. A man is a strong being, and therefore, speaking as a man, purely, it's a sign of a weakness. That's what the society thinks.
Yeah.
And nobody wants to be associated with a big weak being. Therefore, the pressure to maintain yourself as a strong person makes it more that you don't speak even when you're drunk. So basically, it's more of a society pressure.
It's a society thing.
Yes.
Wow. Wow. So I would like to know, okay, I get to understand that this is an issue about society and also from way back from the, the way you were raised, So how do we take ourselves from here? How do we move from here? John, how do we get out ourselves from this society understanding or norms or situations? How do we get out of here?
Well, I agree what my colleagues have said. It's about the society, the perceptions, and even from the word creation, it's a biblical thing that man was created as a man to be the head of the family, the head of the society.
Yeah.
And you are seen as a strong person, as a warrior, to fight for everything that comes across, to provide that security. Now when men start speaking, you will wonder, the person who should provide security, is it the one turning around who wants to be given security? That makes a man to feel kind that he's weak when the man starts speaking, because he should be the one providing solutions, security and everything. That has made the society not to listen whenever the man wants to speak. Over time, we have reached a level men now can't speak, and that's the reason they are not speaking. Is there somebody listening for them? Even if they want to speak, they have pending issues about their families. Who are they going to speak to? Will you listen?
Let me interject around there. Like, I really want to understand, maybe on a scenario or a very good example, what is this? That's one thing that you feel like you cannot speak. Maybe give me a scenario that you feel is too heavy that you cannot be able to share it out.
Okay, I want to give you this scenario. The reason, why they don't speak fast, it's because they have tried in a family setup. Probably you talk to your wife, but she doesn't
listen.
Okay. Now the next time this man will not speak, he will die with it. Yes, you will be seeing him, your husband is there, but has a lot which he can't say to you. And believe me, all these men, they have a lot in
their head, on the heart or so,
And even if you are married over 20 years, there are things he has never told you. And they will not say those things because you are not there to listen to. And most of these things...
Use the so that it can be heard nicely. Ausikiki from viewers kindly. Just if you can use it, that's better,
I was saying that men, they normally have issues deep down their heart that they have never revealed to their wives forever. And for one reason is because the wives do not take time to listen what their men want or what they are going through. You will be told you are supposed to provide, if it's financials, you provide money, but your wife doesn't understand what you go through for you to get that money to bring to the house. And these are some of the things that our wives need to take time to understand who is a man. For a man to open up, there are things you need to do. You must be so close to this man. That quality time, and tend to understand more about this man, or rather, let this man have somebody else, not you as the wife. Like a friend, a very closest friend.
Okay.
Instead of dying not speaking out, he should speak to that friend. And I feel when you speak out, it's one way of solving your problems. Yeah. One of the issues that these men don't speak, it's about their family struggles. Could it be their family, from the parents, siblings, even the wife? They have issues with the wife.
Give me one issue that is so there, to your heart that you guys can't speak. I just need something. Like, just give me something, just something. Okay.
First, I want to respond to the first issue that you have raised on, classical situations where people may not want to talk. And my colleagues here have already said and described who a man is.
Okay.
Now, I want to give you a small illustration. Let's say someone is employed, goes to work, and the contract is terminated abruptly, unexpected. Now, you expect this is a lady, the same happening, they call maybe the boyfriend immediately and tell him, you know what, I've been sad, crying and all that. You come collect me here, But for a man, he has to sit down. He will still go to the same place he goes for lunch.
Okay.
He will still meet his colleagues later in the day, in the evening. He will get home. He's debating within himself whether to tell the children, the wife, you know, the brother, the sister, that this and this happened. So you want to man up, you want to remain a man. So tomorrow morning, you'll still wake up early, dress up, go to work, which actually he was retrenched by the previous day. And he will not be ready to share this thing, because it's like, you know, when you have read in all over the social media, they say, this is a man, he has built a house in town, he goes home, says he want to sell the house. Then the wife or the children ask him, so when you die, where will we live? Because it's like, you know, you should pay for us. Yeah. And those are some of the things that, you know, you have to, you know, you are the one providing hope. And the future of everybody in that family is pegged on you. You go home, tell your children, you know, I was sacked, or this contract which I've been doing, the one that I get money, you know, to take you to places here and there, it has been terminated. So everybody will lose their, you know, their hope.
I'm getting something that is more of, you guys have got more of a sacrificial nature in you, that it tends for you not to speak out. Is it so? It's
not about a sacrifice per se, but you know, my take would be, you know, one, you have a role that you have to play. So you can't run away from that role. If you go tell people, you know, now, I'm not going to work today, and then everybody's hope is lost. So you have to keep their hope alive by not telling them some of these things, and also some of the things, you know, happening. You keep as a secret card for you. Sasa unaongea kila kitu bana. Yeah, baby, my brother.
I say something.
Maybe I had something as you expound. Nowadays, the current family setup that we have. I know a family whereby if you go to insurance companies, you see the people are registered as the next of kin. That kills a man completely.
Really?
I know. It kills a man. A man, you know, a man is also the manhood. It completely killed. When you go and realize,
what is man and manhood? Please.
when you realize your best wife, you have been over 10 years with, the person written as the next of king in the insurance, life insurance she has, it's her sister. What comes, or a brother or the mother, what comes to you as a man?
Asenet, I would like Asenet to talk something about that.
Oh, this is so tough.
Yeah. What do you do on us?
I think, okay, this is what I can say to the men. It's all about whatever you sow, whatever you put in the relationship. Yeah, if you are a committed person, the most definitely you get back. It's like maybe you sow beans and then you expect to get maize instead of beans. Me, I believe it's all about trust issues. This is all about trust issues. So I'm so sure if you have this relationship and put everything, and it's honest and out there in the table, like clean, even on your side, I don't think that we shall be having these issues. The issue here is trust issues.
Okay.
Back to you, Maurice.
Okay.
Thank you, Asenath. When you open that issue of trust, it will really take us in a very different direction.
Okay.
Generally speaking, a man is expected in a way to be like a bullfighter, like a lion, where the back stops. And even when things are tough, and as we have already mentioned, that this man is expected to always maintain a face. So when things are tough, he can't. He doesn't know how. Not only does he not talk about it, but he doesn't know how to open up because he has not done it. He has not seen his brothers do it. He has not seen his parents, his father do it. And maybe all that which amounts to man, and even in examples from the folklore stories, there is what a man is expected to be, a warrior, the Lion King, these expectations, the man is already wired and therefore disadvantaged to always be the head, the leader, the solution provider, and therefore, even in men's circles, when men meet, he will not want to appear weak. In the example my friend Endelea was talking about, someone who has been fired and has been going to work for almost a year until now, financially, things are down and he can't explain why things are down and he's always working. But there is that hope and belief that maybe with time I'll get back to work, but if I tell them now I'm not working, I will kill hope for them. Some kids, when they know that there is no opportunity to further their education, even that belief, that thinking that we may struggle financially, they may not have the incentive to work hard. So sometimes you withhold this information, which starts killing you internally. You may have relationship issues. The expectation is that the man is able to handle his wife. But the wife is not meant to be handled. And therefore,
we explain that. What do you mean? What do you mean?
For instance, you should just live with your wife freely. But issues may arise in the relationship. And therefore, if there are issues, maybe even they can have been triggered by the man, and they show symptoms from the wife. The wife starts reacting. When the wife starts reacting, the man doesn't recognize that it was his doing. Therefore, he starts blaming the wife.
You're very right.
And it escalates. It escalates. They are estranged. The man can also decide this is enough, and we want to. It comes as a surprise to a man. He can't believe we have been in a relationship for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. There is no age where you can't be left.
You know, they say, just to bring, they say that a woman, when you give them 100 shillings, will give you 200. Yeah, when you give them rubbish, it'll give you.
No,
so we multiply things.
On the issue of rubbish, I agree. On the issue of multiplying finances, I'm not sure.
You're not sure.
I tend to think financially, marriage benefits a lady more than a man.
What, really?
Financially.
Why? Explain
that's a different conversation altogether.
A little bit, just a point. Why
for
do you
instance,
think so? Because we really want to understand. These are the perspective you guys have. And today, we just want to give you an opportunity. We just want to be a listening ear. Of course, we shall interject here a little bit here and there, but we want to listen to you. Because I believe that, there are wives, your wives, sorry, watching, your wives watching, sisters, and these are conversations that we need to get it ongoing. We need to understand our men so that we can be able to help them, because we don't want them to die. We want them to be there for us, and we want to have a proper family setup. If everything, maybe the depression is caused by family setup thing, we want to make it very beautiful. We want to have an amazing family. So this is something that we are taking it. We may not exhaust the whole conversation today. Mali tutachia tutashika next time. So feel free and talk about it. Tukiuliza twende huko, tunataka muongee. Nataka kurusha maneno vizuri.
This is a very nice platform. I don't know if I spoke like this in ages.
I want you to speak.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In finances perspective, a man is expected generally to, if he's staying in a rental house, to pay for rent. Some of our wives don't know if the rent has been paid. They think it's magic.
Okay.
Some of us don't have expectations from our wives in terms of spending on anything in the family at home. And surely, or in all honesty, finances is one of the key issues which brings trouble in relationships. And you see, you may find a man who at first was willing, when the love is at the peak, who was willing to incur all these expenses and has trained the lady to be incurring these expenses. But when things start becoming down, he starts feeling it's like he's being used.
Yeah.
Which may not really be the wife's problem. It's what you have shown your wife. Remember, you are suffering. Now when the finances start dwindling, the wife is also working, for instance, and earning good money. You may find that even some of the wives earn more than the husband. Now in a situation where now the husband is no longer working, the wife has no knowledge of how rent is paid. You have stayed for the last 10 years. She has never paid rent. She has never paid school fees. So when you bring these expenses to her, it is like, it's like new language. Where do we start from? At our pay bill number.
Antoinette, what do you have to say? Say something.
Let me say
because
something.
we also want to get our perspective so that
on
we'll be able
our
to.
side. Can I say that is all this, I now getting it from you men, it's like, me I believe like this, when you enter into a relationship, it should be open as a book. Like, you talk about your expectations, the wife talks about their expectation, and then you come and meet in the middle. You have to be as free, as open as possible. Sometimes maybe your perception on us is different to what we really are. So I think the issues that you're bringing up here, it's maybe you should lower your expectations.
That's a good one. Lowering expectations.
We should lower our expectations.
Actually, it is the expectations which hurt.
Really? Yeah, which is true. Yeah.
I don't think, especially the way men are, we don't really expect much from our wives. Because even if you look at it marriage biblically, the man was to leave his compound and meet a lady, they form there.
A family.
The man knows is the one to provide. Now where where things have changed, these women were working and earning more than even the husband. You know, biblically, this woman was to be submissive, respect the husband. Equally, the man was to love the woman.
The man.
But when you have the finances, you become more strong. You start the Beijing issue. And ideally, that Beijing issue start now dividing roles.
Are you trying to say that?
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say, things have really changed. Sometimes your husband may not have that money to provide. Equally, you should be having what Asnat said, sit down and agree, this is, I will pay this, I will do this. It's not just an expectation. From the lady side says that you are living to me. It's like you want me to pay school fees for your children. The children here are called my children, not our children. Do you want me to pay the school fees for your children?
You see, there is one thing also, I'm really understanding, I'm really getting this conversation well. There's also one thing that, there's that perspective you guys have. There's some unfortunate stories that are there for men that actually, you know, like what you're saying. And I can also understand Asnat. When Asnat is saying we work on an open book whereby everything is clear. There's some relationship built in that and it's going very well. But there's some relationship whereby it might still be brought up in such a foundation, but still when things start shaking, everything goes down. Now, here we are. We want to also understand that men are, you know, the heads and we need to submit and all that. But now, when there is a problem, when you guys are going through these issues, let's say you don't have employment, for how long should we wait for you guys to wake up?
Now, I think that's a good question because the entire topic centers there. Why do we keep quiet? As I said, if I've learned my wife, and I have seen whenever I have a problem, she doesn't take care of that problem. So next time, I will keep quiet and struggle on my own. I pay the school fees. I struggle on my own ways. I do it. It's because nobody is there to listen to us. Are you listening to us? And that's the reason why we keep quiet. What I'm encouraging, probably, you should take more time to listen to us. Encourage if he has lost his job, encourage him, you will get a job. Meanwhile, we will move to a smaller house where we pay less. Just come up with ways to make him feel you are considerate.
Move to a smaller house. Yeah, you have to say something.
Okay. I want to, begin from somewhere. One. Okay, this may not could be an ideal situation, which is probably hard to achieve, but probably, the position of a man and where he sits, even when it comes to matters of money, a man should be able to make more money than even the wife can finish.
Really?
Yes. So that at least the issue of money, now, we have to sit down, discuss. Now I will pay rent, then you will pay insurance, I will do this. You buy your wife a car, you fuel it, you do everything, whether she is working or not.
Okay, that's
because
perfect.
That now would bring out an issue of the success of a man. And that is what the society expects. But because that is like an ideal situation, which is, of course, it's achievable. It's not like you can't achieve it. It's achievable. You can achieve. And remember, a man is like a brand name in the family. That's why even when, let's say, even, children will be called the name of the man. Okay, I would want to, have those exemptions which are there in the society, and that's fine. But even when, like, a lady goes to the, let's say, to fill a particular form. Let's say you are fixing internet in the house. It has to be given a name. Now, it has to carry a brand name. It doesn't have to be at the person who was found there. If it is the firstborn who was found there, they should not fill things on their name. They should know that there is a brand name that we carry, and we are identified by this kind of a name.
So you want to tell me that the moment, let's say assuming now we are living together, the moment I write my name on you'll feel bad?
In the first place, is it
an issue?
In the first place, it should not happen. Why is it happening? So that at least, people should learn they have this brand, they protect it, they feel proud about it, and they move forward.
Wow.
So that at least some of these things now, they are coming up. They don't even arise. They have no room. They have no life in the life of these people. And then that will be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Whatever you're saying is it's a societal setup. For example, like when you talked about the services that we enjoy at home, if the internet service provider comes and to set up the internet, the username automatically, even you yourself as the lady, you'll spell out your husband's name to form the username. By default.
Okay.
The same case, I'm presuming you're living in a rental unit. And you have to sign the lease agreement with the landlord. Most definitely,
that lease will be signed in the man's name.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So when you look at it from that perspective, it means that everything in terms of provision and security revolves around the man. And any other man who is not of that particular perspective, you'd feel that he's not in charge. And even you yourself as a lady, you to some extent feel that my man is not in charge of the situation. So all that puts a lot of pressure on the man, that he must at all times be available and ready to take charge. And that means when he loses the resources to be able to take care of all this, the gentleman will simply protect the brand he's talking about. And that forces the man to keep quiet until when probably the quietness cannot continue. We lose him. Yes.
Wow. I think this is a whole conversation that is it has so much questions. It has so much to deal with society understanding of a man. Those things that us women, we just take them very lightly, you know, I will just put a Wi-Fi password and just don't care about what is happening. Then unapata mtu amekuja amefura hata ujui, kumbe aliona password, akaona kitu imewekwa sio yeye. So, and then these things, they just take inside them. They don't even come speak to you. At the end of the day, they build up this a whole, you know, small thing, and it grows on. So, we've found out that this is a society norm kind of a thing that makes men not to speak. Now we are encouraging men to speak. How do we make them speak? How do you make them speak?
Okay, how do we make these men speak? I agree. Yes, sometimes men speak, but what they speak, does it really matter? They speak politics. They will speak sports. They will speak about the drinks they are taking. Do they really speak on the inner issues, the family issues that they are going through? You know, with ladies, it's very easy. They can speak to other about what they are going through in their house. They can go to see the bishops to be consult bishop to pray for the family or what. Yeah. Do really men go for those prayers? Will a man go and see pastor to pray for his family? He has family issues. Will he really go and see the parents to report that have issues in my... So has men, the ego that we have, with that ego of ours, and we feel if we speak to others, they will judge us. Again, they will not understand why this is happening. Now, going forward from where I sit, as men, I encourage every man, not necessarily, get somebody who is very close to you. Whether it's the guy that you drink together, you dine together, but have somebody. He may not be really your brother, but a closest friend. It's wise when you speak these things out. You can get advice. You can be encouraged other than dying with this silence. I know some guys, colleagues who have had their conversations. At times they reach a point where somebody opens up that what's going on in his family. They are to a point of separating, even divorce. But you have never known that your friend is going through this in his family.
True.
He has tried to carry it for a very long time until now he tells you openly, and sometimes if there are those partakers when he's high, and you can realize that this guy today, my friend, we work with him, today is not, he has certain bitterness. And all of a sudden starts opening up, telling you what is going through. And that's the time I'm saying he can only do it if you are too close to him. So it's good to have that one person, and it's good men to cry. Sometimes men, when they drink, cry. I've seen my men having issues, very bitter, but when he's so drunk, he start talking about it. Start now opening up, even crying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a drink cry, yeah? The drink is crying.
You will not expect a man who has been battered at home by the wife. You are seeing him with a black eye, and he'll tell you, "Well, nilitandikwa." So they'll say, nilikutana na wakora, tukatandikana, niliwatandika, ni hapa tu niliumia kidogo. That is diversionary.
Wow.
Men should get to a point where, no matter the circumstance, to maintain health, mental health, it should get to a point where communication comes natural.
Yeah, true.
If you have an issue, you should be able to speak about, especially if it is an issue which is eating you. We have seen cases of suicide even happening.
Yeah.
It starts from stress, depression, and it escalates until somebody feels, this, I am the only one who is going through this. No one has ever gone through it. It is the biggest problem in the world, and therefore, the only solution is possibly deciding to take your own life. And that becomes a permanent solution to a very temporary problem. Because even issues of separation, divorce, that should not lead someone to commit heinous activities. Because you have seen people even killing their children, their spouses, and also themselves. In as much as I advocate for strong family ties, if things are at the wall, you are not conjoined. Even if you are not conjoined, like you are not built with someone next to you, speak it out. If a solution cannot be found, and you feel whatever they have done is of great consequence for your ideals, then amicably ukubali kuachwa.
Yeah.
That point is very strong.
Okay.
At that point, I interject.
Yes.
Now, generally as humans, we are wired in a way that we are able to sort out issues to some extent by our own selves. Therefore, even by our own quotient, there's a point at which some issues that you can sort yourself. So we are talking about at what point should a man speak? This is what you say. Any problem that you have, as a man, as a human, give it a time period. If you can't sort it yourself, and consciously when you sit back and realize there is no solution to it, first exercise an element of self-control. Like he said, have a close friend, a man, probably that will also not judge you, then you can share out. There are two issues that I myself say are very important in life. One of them is resource and health.
Okay.
If God given has actually blessed you with some resources as a man, and you have health, suicide can never be a solution.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you kill yourself because of a lady, we will definitely, the lady will be left behind to enjoy what you worked hard for. There will be kids that will suffer from your absence. So literally, it will not be a solution to the problem. So killing yourself because of a certain individual should never be on the table. Like he said, we were born alone in this world. You came alone, you grew alone, you met with a certain being who was fully grown. You became one. And at some point, if it's not working, the best is, if it can't work completely, Do you know people also separate on a very understanding perspective? You sit down and agree, literally, this thing is not working. We cannot continue. But let's also move forward with life. We have kids to take care of. We have our lives beyond each of us as a person. The wife has a life. You as a man, you have a life to live. So either way, it's a big decision to make. But killing yourself because of disagreement should not be on the table.
That brings me to a question. Do men benefit from marriage? Do men feel like they benefit from marriage? Do you guys feel like being in a marriage, is it more of a woman kind of benefit than it weighs to men?
Okay. My response, I would say that from all angles, marriage is beneficial to the life of a man, and of course to every other person, because a marriage is an institution which brings you know, two parties together, and these two parties, there are other stakeholders in that institution. So to me, I think I won't say it's an issue of whether it benefits or not. But marriage is an institution which was, of course, established by God after realizing that man was lonely in the first place. Of course, I know there are stories. I have actually read a description of marriage, which says, you know, a marriage is where a man, you know, meets a stranger, a grown-up lady, then that two teeth bring this lady here, then the lady also, you know, gives birth to other children, our own children. Then eventually the man dies. He's actually neglected at the end. But that perspective, for me, I will say, it is it's a process. It is how, you know, people have lived together all along, from day one up to the old age.
You know why, sorry to cut you, you know why I brought that, because there is this also perspective that men feel that they don't benefit in marriage, and then there is also like men feel they need to have a plan for their retirement, more specified than maybe the normal plans that we have. So as you are deliberating, try to also cover that
I get
side.
you.
Why do we feel that we need to have some plans and we are not benefiting in this?
Actually, you know, you should not think of marriage as a plan for your retirement, in the sense that, you know, I have children, take them to good school, they become successful, they will help me at my old age.
They don't help?
That, okay, I won't say they don't, because I don't know, you know, me I'm a child in my family, and I don't know whether people feel I help them. Okay. So I don't want to say like children don't help their parent. Of course they should, but the parent of today is not the parent of yesteryears. The parent of today, you have to plan your life to the end, including when you die, how you will be buried. You should have that plan, because you know eventually you will die. Now, when you put your children to take care of you in your old age, you are actually, you know, setting yourself up for failure. You should have your own plans, how you will retire and how you will do your life at that age. But not your children will now have good jobs, they will take care of you. That will not happen.
Someone was saying this, maybe that one I'll give it to Makori. Someone was saying this, that kids, when you grow old, men, when they grow old, the kids tend to, the lady or the woman or the wife is the one who benefits from the kids. The the kids will come and take their mom, and they'll start, you know, taking care of their mom in town while the father is just abandoned there. So that's why this conversation of men needing to have a plan for their retirement, because somehow it seems like when you grow old, somehow the mothers are taking more control than, you know. So maybe you can enlighten us on that.
Yeah, maybe to go first for whether we benefit from marriage. Yeah. Yes, both couples benefit, but the degree of benefit differs. It differs in the sense that plan, the retirement plan the man should have. What happens, a man, in most cases, I've seen where a man has been likened to a tractor, that once it has finished doing the road, it's again taken away from the road because it cannot, it can spoil, itaharibu yo barabara. Kazi yake ni kutengeneza. Tractor. Okay. Now this man, his work is to work so hard to feed the family, to educate his family, and to provide for the family. But as we grow older, we are going to retire from the work that we are doing. The children will start their life as well. They will start their families. You are left alone with your wife. Now at this point, children are not alone, are not around, and financially, if you didn't plan well, you don't have finances. And the way the culture, especially as Africans, we are, women tend to have control of children. Even if you are the one who used to pay the school fees, there's a way the children are so close. They trust their mother so much, or they are so close to their mother than the father at this point. And even the tendency of women going to see the grandchildren in towns, in cities, you are left alone at home. And that's the time you become lonely. You have healthy conditions to handle. You need finances. If your children are not going to support you, or you never planned it well, that's why we insist to men at our 70s, the way we see life today, we are not going to enjoy it. We are going to be lonely. We are going to be to the nyumba za wazee. We are going to sit there. Our kids are going to take us to nyumba ya wazee and leave us there because they will be away working hard for their children. Yeah, for men, I encourage we should really plan for our future.
That's a really good I think I also support that. Either way, both. They also need the same.
The cycle should not repeat. And maybe I can urge as men to play a role in our family, which is not only limited to bill paying machine.
Yeah, you're right.
We need to have to develop relationships with, of course, these children. And even though we let them be independent, and also our wives, such that the relationship is not only centered or man is needed only when there is financial challenge. Because once the financial challenge is solved, then you lose relevance. You are no longer needed. So we need to develop ties at our home with the children. Because these things actually do happen. The kids are away in several parts of the country in Europe. You have like 4 kids or 5. They are spread across Europe. It is not in the man to say naenda kushika mtoto. So it is the wife anaenda kushika mjukuu. When the kids are young, they can be said watoto wako. When they grow old, they change ownership. Wanakuwa watoto wangu. Anaenda kushika mjukuu wake. So you as the man, you are left there while the wife is globetrotting, moving from one continent to another, holding, in a direct translation, holding kids, kushika watoto. Mwaka inaisha. Mwaka inaisha, na uko pale. Now you are coming from town, maybe now to a rural setup. You don't know. You don't know how things work at home. Well, umekuwa msee wa town throughout. When it's leave time to go home on a leave, let's say you are employed, You don't exhaust being at home. You even don't go because you have so many other things to do in between. So if you have established a home, a retirement home, you find that you're almost alone. The people also there in the ground, when you have come, they see you as a stranger. You have to be integrated to the society. Now, if, for example, the wife is there, and let's say you have become a little bit broke, your wife who are mashambani, you want to sell a cow. You remember you bought this cow when you were in a town.
Yeah.
Now the cow has changed ownership. It's no longer your cow, my friend. And when
you maintain maintenance is very important.
Now you have to plan yourself.
Yeah, it's true.
If you can do it with your spouse, it's okay. But now the challenge on the man, because you have said the man is unable to open up. You find that unajipanga tu kidogo kidogo hapa na pale unakuwa mkarabati.
Okay, now to as much as you want to comment on that, I also want to get a perspective. What's your perspective of a good marriage? What actually entails, according to you men, what is good in a marriage that you love to see it? Because I believe the fact that you don't speak out, you only don't speak out when the things are bad. I guess when they are good, you are very easy to speak. So what's this that we need to change us as women, to fit into your perspective? This is how you like it, this is how you don't like it, And I want us to be raw, I want us to give us a good perspective so that our viewers can be able to get it, and also you can help somebody, because we really change people's life when we talk about the real situations. And this conversation, I will need you to come along every time, because I want to get you guys to speak. I feel bad now. I want to speak. I want to hear real stories. I want to hear what you guys go through, that you feel like this is it. I just want to get something for me to be able to.
I'm trying to answer the question.
Yes.
On what is a good marriage. Probably, there are foundations.
Yeah.
For everything to be good and successful, it's all about the foundations that were set from the initial stages. And for you to speak about the good marriage, first you need to understand, why does it become a bad marriage? Because every time before you get married as a man and a lady, your vision is to have a good marriage.
Yeah.
So at each particular level, every marriage is good at start. The question is, how does it move from a good one to a bad one? From I will not speak about from experience. I will talk about, yes, I can speak from experience, or from even stories that you've read. Most marriages become bad from good out of one, communication issues, finance issues, and infidelity issues. Mostly three issues: communication, finance, and infidelity. Now, the next point would be probably how to ensure it becomes successful.
Yeah.
Infidelity issues is more of it's a personal issue. It's a personal decision. You make a decision whether to live with 1, 2, or 3. That's a personal decision. On the finance perspective, my advice to men, and this one I would speak from experience, and probably God forgive me if I'm wrong, all right? If you want to have a successful marriage on the part of finances, don't plan with your wife, don't plan for bills expecting your wife to participate in taking care of such bills.
Okay.
Because generally, the modern lady is wired with a certain belief that your money is our money, and my money is my mind.
Okay.
So as you plan to settle with such with a lady, you need to have realized first that the modern setup, that's how they've been wired. And therefore, when you're trying to move the lady from that perspective to your perspective that you share bills, you need to realize that you're setting it up for an argument, which you may never reach a conclusion on. Therefore, as a man, purely pray your God, get resources. You take care of the bills, because if you can't take care of the bills and expect to share them with your wife, there's an element of the moment the lady starts to share bills with yourself, she starts to become also a man in the house. Because the setup from the word go, the man was the provider. So if she starts to share in the bill, she's also to some extent a provider. And that would make her lose some respect for yourself. And as a man, we are born with egos. And when you disrespect a man, you are simply stepping on his ego. When the ego is stepped on, there's an element of anger and aggressiveness to fight to restore that ego. And that begins to bring some element of problems. Therefore, the key word, work hard, make money, take care of your bills, move forward. And also, it's good to be very realistic to yourself.
Yeah.
Like I said in another setup, if as a man you're driving a Nissan Note, for example, for lack of a better interpretation, don't expect to take care of a lady driving a V8. We have to be realistic to ourselves. If she's not at your level, agree that she's not at your level.
I'll become a wife.
She's not at your level. Let those who can deal with herself.
Yeah.
Kali ni yako. You'll sort yourself so many problems.
Wow. Okay. Yeah.
I have a question for you guys. Don't you feel like what you're explaining is what brings the problem? If again you don't give your wife responsibilities, that is when now, in case anything happens on your side, maybe you do umefutwa job or something happens, because now she's used to be taken care of. That is where the problem now comes in. I think giving your wife responsibilities, like maybe you do 80-20, 70-30, it's very important, because I believe that is where the problem comes from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you. This issue brings us back to a question you asked. Who does a marriage benefit?
Okay.
Kelly, on his side, from his perspective, surely the marriage benefits 100% the woman on financial matters. According to our friend, the marriage benefits the woman 70 or 80% financially.
Okay.
No, it's on the financial perspective.
Financial perspective.
On financial perspective. On other issues, if I just go back to take us on how does a marriage benefit, I have mentioned something like magic. I've heard a story, and sometimes these things do happen like magic, that you are wondering, you have, after getting married, the wife asks the man, what happens? You leave your things here, your clothes unwashed, they are left here. You say there is something which takes them away. I don't know. Since I got married, when I eat, I leave everything on the table. Magically, it is out. It goes away.
Magically?
Your clothes unwashed. He said, yes, I have not washed them. But it happens since I married you. Magically, the clothes tend to be ironed, well set. It may happen through the wife's effort that maybe she's arranging them for washing machine or taking them to a dry cleaner. But you as a man, you think it just happens. So in that perspective, when you come home, you even don't know whether the kitchen kulikuwa kunapikwa, unapata chakula tu unakula, like magic. And the same way it happens magically, that all the bills are paid like magic. So, in that side, generally, there are aspects of benefit from the both genders. There is how the man benefits, but financially, from what we are discussing here, marriage benefits a woman more financially than a man.
Financially?
Yes.
Okay, we put that one in financially. Yeah.
I agree with Maurice. There's a point she's put across that when you don't give her responsibilities and you're not capable of taking care of the bills, then the issues arise. I like to deal with these things from how we are set up from where we're coming from. Initially, we studied our grandfathers and the forefathers. It was very rare for them to have divorce. They would, in most cases, even die together at old age. But nowadays, how many weddings have you witnessed? How many couples do you know that have stayed together for the last 10 or so years and they are still doing well? Statistics would show that there's a very extensive drop in terms of the family setup. But then you go back to where is the problem? What is it that is eating the society? We must agree that from the word setup, even when God created this universe, his initial plan was for the lady to support the man. All right? And the man to provide for the lady. And instructions are given clearly in the Bible for the lady to be submissive and obey the man. And for the man to love the wife. All right? How do you love someone if you are the man? What is this kind of love was God talking about? It is purely the provisional aspect. Right? And the obedience is the submissive part. But how do you expect a lady to submit to yourself if the provisional aspect is not present? It becomes difficult.
Yeah, true.
Right? And that is why so many of these unions cannot last the test of time. But either way, there is the question of whichever way you look at it. I'm looking at Bill Gates and his wife.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
They divorced at probably 70 years of age and above. Was Bill Gates not able to provide?
He was.
He was.
Yeah.
Was the wife submissive?
Yes, I think
We
so.
don't know.
We don't know. I tend to think.
And that is why sometimes I say that there is no one that has a very proper working formula on how we should live as a husband and wife. Sometimes I say what works at my place may not work at your place.
True.
Study your person that you're living with. Be real to yourself. Right? If there are things she doesn't like, but you heard Mr. James say that his wife likes them, please don't copy James' issues to you. So be true to yourself. Study the person you live with. And then we pray for God's wisdom so that we prevail.
Wow.
But literally, the problem started beating us the moment we ran away from what God expected of us as humans. Yes, that's my take.
Wow. Okay, that has been very kind of heated one. I still want to, today I'll just pinpoint some of the things. Maybe I know this is a whole back forth we need to discuss deep, but allow me to ask, what about this dowry? You guys, what do you think about paying for a woman's dowry? There's been a kind of a conversation whereby men are feeling, why are they supposed to pay dowry for a woman? I want to understand, what's your perspective? How do you feel? Is it, do you feel like you need not to, or you're comfortable, or is it something that also needs to be addressed? Paying for a dowry when you're marrying. Wengine mnataka kupewa for free, mkuje mchukue muende.
Okay, about, I began, and when we were beginning, we agree that we belong to our society. And we have cultural practices that also shape and hold the society together. So my idea of dowry, I think, is sort of an appreciation. It's not a like they call it a bride price. Okay. It's not a price like you are paying to purchase some kind of an item.
Some they pay 100 cows.
Actually, you should pay. You should give a lot.
A lot, okay.
Yes, not by way of coercion, or not by way of you must fulfill this. It's not an issue that should have a lot of discussion. And looking forward, I think we are going to get to a situation, because I've also heard people say, I don't think other people should benefit. Now, those are ladies now, not men.
Yeah, okay.
From, me being paid for dowry, and it goes to certain people. They feel they should be given themselves.
I think that's a good
because we have commercialized everything. Now people feel like,
But some cultures do that, though. There's some cultures where you pay the dowry to the lady, and it's in the culture.
Yeah, fine. Yeah. There are even other culture where it is the man who is
being
given the dowry. Yeah, you can change your cultural belief. If you want to ascribe to that kind of format, then you go to such culture, or is it religion or something, where it is actually the man. Because me, I think I know a few men who have been uplifted by way of being given the dowry, like of a thing. Yeah. And they
in this culture of ours or another culture?
No, just around. Because you need to research around, but for you are a lady, and in case there are men who
there are things men should also be realistic with our situations. we want to allow you to this conversation to go on, but there's something that I think Kelly was saying, that you study your person or your surrounding, pia venye wamesema unachagua kile ambacho unaweza, so there are things that also I feel some of the reasons why depression goes increasing is wanting to do things beyond your what you can manage. So in that angle of saying we need to speak out, we also need to be very honest in our situations and say, this is it. This is how my situation is, and let me take it. Even the social media kind of platforms also, has brought a lot of tension and anxiety in people, because you want to live like someone. You see someone doing this good, you also want to. So if you look at it, mostly the fact that people don't speak, the fact that people also want to be somewhere very fast, it can also lead to all this. You also look at today you are paying for a dowry, and then the other person, it also may make you feel bad if you fed 100 cows and then the other person, So we also need to be really understanding our cultures and be able to see, because we are making this conversation, and we also want to make our viewers understand that you see, like now we are telling them to speak. There are some areas I think maybe I'll be concluding a little bit, but some areas I think we have said that men they feel like even they talk, they are not being listened to. But I think this wanawake tunaongea whether tunasikizwa ama tusikii. Tunaongeanga. Like we talk, whether you're going to listen or not going to listen, we are going to talk. Even if there's no solution, we'll speak it out.
Even when there is peace, you just...
So I think you can also borrow some things from us. Like, even when the moment you feel like no one is listening, please speak. Because speaking itself, you may not maybe get the solution, but it releases. Someone was saying that our body is made of frequencies. And you see, the way we adopt to certain frequencies, unajua wakati tension iko juu, you need to balance it a little bit. So you may speak out, and even the person will not listen, but I believe hakuna mtu akona roho ya jiwe sana. We tend to, as women kidogo tunakuanga na
What happens?
Yeah.
What happens, or what may happen is that once you enter a relationship, you may find that a man, sometimes even the woman, stopping his usual friends and adopting some other friends as may be prescribed by the wife. The wife may not approve some of your friends, and he starts alienating you from people, even those who you have grown up with, sometimes even from your family. Tell you, like that. The people who introduce others to cults, they start separating them from their people. Now, when you now become like you are alone, you will tend to believe everything which that person says. I believe it is important that as both genders, but since we are talking about men, men should have their own life outside marriage. Okay. That you can do your own thing.
Which things do you want to do, you guys?
Well, you can even travel. You can travel. You can hold meetings.
Nada kwenda holiday peke yako.
Yes.
Bila bibi.
It should be.
Okay.
It is very important to be able to have your own life apart from the prescribed relationship.
Someone was saying that, how do I go for a holiday as a man alone?
No.
Mnaendanga holiday alone.
What I'm trying to say here is the expectation which, because you don't have people to tell you, my friend, you are going wrong. And this relationship will achana nazo 10 years ago. Now you almost don't have anyone to speak to. So we are looking at why men don't speak. Yeah. Because the relationship waliacha 10 years ago, walipooa. So their world is revolving around the wife presently. Kila kitu. Kumwambia boss, si tukutane tukunywe chai. Ninakimbia, kuna mahali naenda, kuna kakitu, na hakuna kitu, anaenda nyumbani akaangaliwa kama TV.
Maybe to add why men go, anaweza akaenda holiday alone. Yes, you can. And it's important men to go holiday alone.
Ukweli kabisa.
They are running away from the noisy house. That noisy house of akikuja kerele kila saa nataka kimbia hende. And sometimes men want to be alone. They want to have a conversation to themselves. They open up, they talk to themselves. They look the things that are going around them. Especially if it's family issues that he has. That's the time he wants to get free time. He sits alone, he looks at it, he makes the decisions. When he comes back, he's so fresh. He can now call you for a meeting, and he can iron things out. It's so important for man to be.
Do men get bored of their wives?
Yes, they do.
Why? Why do you get bored of your beautiful wife? And,
you see, I am 100% sure that my wife is watching. So
apologize in advance.
It's good to be real.
Yeah, it's true.
As a man, one thing you need to realize that the moment you decided to settle with this particular lady, because of how nature is, she will definitely change from who you met to a different person with different phases of life. So you must be ready to live with those particular phases. Because anyway, by nature, if all of us are given a chance, we would want to be perfect and remain as good as we were or we've been. So as a man, you must realize that your wife will change with time. She will not be the young lady you met. She will change with the time. The changes are by nature. It's not by default or by whatever. So you must be ready for them and agree and be ready to live with them the way they are. Okay. Very important.
I want to say something also there. probably the question you are asking requires a yes or no answer. And probably, you know, even people have been friends, very good friends. At times along the way, they feel like, you know, we no longer click and everybody has gone their way. But I would want to add something on the entire thing, that, you know, when two people come together, they should empower each other. And particularly because, you know, we are talking about men, there is a, you know, a crop of, you know, people or men who think maybe when their wife or the person they are with is empowered, you know, it's like a threat. But probably that should not be the case. Me, I believe both parties should be able to empower each other. When you empower the person you are with, you are the first beneficiary if everything is done properly.
How do we get from the point of you getting bored from your woman to the point now you are you now come back? Because I don't know how long you get bored to that woman. And then on the same time, I want you also to bring to something of what is your perspective about having a wife and a side chick on the same side? Maybe we can give Kelly to comment on that as he leaves us for a minute. Yeah.
You want me to comment on wife as a side chick?
No, I want.
You want to roast me?
No. I just want to understand because these are real things, real issues, and one thing I've come to realize, you see, as women, we tend to ghost our men in this angle of a side chick. But sometimes I feel it becomes a little bit easy when you understand this is how men are kind of wired. It gives you some space to understand. Not really like you're understanding, but a space to understand. Because I can imagine if I find out that my husband is having an affair with someone, I would want to, you know. So I really want to understand what is it that you guys feel about it so that we can be able as women to see how we are able to, because that's the reality is that these things are happening. Yeah. And you men, you should be able to tell us, why is it that mnakwanga ziko mingi kidogo?
That's a very serious topic.
Yeah.
We can't exhaust.
Yeah, okay, it's true.
Commenting on it is all very dangerous.
Yeah.
But I would advise a man, if it reaches a point where you want to have this other second lady, the best thing is introduce her to your former wife, to your wife. Have a discussion and agreement that probably it's time for you to add a second wife. Let it be very official. It will be easier to live with, just like our forefathers did. But a side chick eventually, it's a problem.
It's a problem.
Allow me to step out.
It's a problem. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can continue. Maybe your thoughts on that. Like, we need to find out. I was talking about now that we have understand that it's natural that sometimes you get bored with somebody, but I believe that one it takes a day or two and then you click up, and there's that scenario. But at the same time, as you are saying that, we also wanted to understand that there is this perspective of whereby you realize you have a wife and still you have a side chick. You know, those small things that we don't address them. Unaweza kuwa hata pengine side chick ameukazirisha hapo wakuja kwa wife ukaanza kumletea shida. Depression can come from all areas apart from the home setup. It can still come from even work. But now we want to we are just dealing on the side of the family kind of a thing. So maybe if you can also give some insights on that. Mnaonaje mruhusiwe mkuwe na ma side chick, hiyo ndo kitu najaribu kusema.
Okay. Yeah. But my response or my comment, I think I will just go back to what I was saying initially, that, you know, one, when you have this lady you get married to, you need to, you know, build a friendship with that particular person.
Okay.
So that despite everything else, you guys are friends. You enjoy each other's company. You are not just there because this is wife, this is husband. No, you need to be like the boy-girl friend.
Okay.
So that, you know, your partner is your friend number one. To a point where even if you were given another opportunity to make a choice, you will still choose that particular person. But in my earlier comment, I said some of these things are like ideal situation, which is very hard to achieve.
Yeah.
Because even after doing all that, you know, you have done, you still realize you will have those challenges. But if you have created that you know, good atmosphere, friendship, you guys are friends, you are okay, then you will find you do not have much of a problem. You will still have other friends which are open, they are known. You can, the fact that to me, the fact that you are married does not necessarily mean you cannot sit somewhere there with a lady, share a drink, or, you know, have a conversation. Because even some of those sittings, they are the one that propel you to the next level. So that said, probably the other issue, like if now you are having a lady, another lady as a wife, I think that is what Kelly was saying. You make it known. Yeah, you introduce her, you know.
So you know, I want to get to know. Well, girlfriend, I want to get to know like what you guys. You know, kuna vitu zenye as human beings, we are okay. There's the culture. There's what we want. And somehow there's what our body is nurtured to. And then somehow as men, there are things you wish women, we can be able to get them easily. Like having 4 wives, and here a woman cannot understand. So I want to get that perspective. Like,
for me,
is it
for
something mnanyimwa mnaona kama mngepewa hii opportunity wanawake tuwaelewe?
For me, I believe like one lady for a man is enough.
Oh, okay.
That is my belief, my honest belief.
Ya ukweli kabisa.
Kabisa, for a wife, that is it.
Okay.
Now, someone who, you know, who marries 2, 3, 4 wives, sometime, you know, is a choice. And even some people who are in polygamy, it is something they have agreed. There are people.
Makori is like he's having something to say on that.
There are people who have agreed to, you know, add a wife in their institution, and they are okay with it. So we cannot sit here like now. You know the issue we are talking about. We are addressing as if we are talking to a Christian audience.
Yeah.
Because it is Christianity which brings the issue of one wife, one,
Well, ungetaka just tuache mambo ya religion. Mimi ninataka tu nijue side yako. Unataka aje wewe uruhusu, you know?
Mimi nimeshasema.
Unataka mmoja. Haya, twende kwa huyu.
Andrew, what I believe.
Wewe unaridhika na mmoja.
What I believe.
Okay.
Yes. You can make 1 million ladies within one lady.
Okay, you can choose one and be very comfortable.
No, that one lady can be 1 million ladies.
Okay.
In your life.
Interesting, that one. Okay.
One lady can be.
You see, you have had, you know, but those are just the memes that people say. You know, if you see a school, you know, girl in a uniform, looking beautiful, go and buy uniform to your wife.
No,
she will
the same way.
Yeah, because that's what you saw. If you like mini skirt, you go walk past somewhere, see someone dressed this way and she's looking nice. Try that on your wife. You will now have another fashion of your wife.
I feel
you see this and kind of thing like this, go and do it there. You will be seeing this it is just the same person,
Okay.
but now appearing in different. That is why you are making 1 million ladies in one lady, and you will have your 1 million wives like Solomon.
I get
that
you.
Is it.
But I think just to add before Makori says something, I think Andrew, you're just being cautious. Ukweli tu mimi na feel uja open up, but I'll pick this one in the next conversation, because yeah, Makori can get.
The question was. There's so many.
I really want to understand, like, you know, this looks like maybe I'm laughing, but honestly, I'm coming from a level whereby I would not, there are areas in life as we grow up, seeing it, I mean, you are trained to understand that one man, one woman, and that concept when it sticks down in you, you can find yourself. But sometimes it's because of the setup where you're coming from and that understanding. So in why I want to bring it up, I really want to understand, because there's someone who's watching there, and basically he's going through a situation whereby his husband has got a side chick, and whether side chick ama kuna bibi, you know, kuna hizo na yeye, he's going also through the depression, as much as we're talking to, you know, but akijua kuwa there's a nature in men that goes in that angle, inazampatia certain relief to understand, you know, in a way that it's not something that we advocate for, but there is that understand that men have, because kuna venye mko mnasema, someone was saying that ukipata unajua unaambiwa nyamaza mwanaume kwa maulizo na nini, you know, and there is that other perspective of saying wanawake pia we need to understand men that, you know, train in this angle. So that's why I need to understand. Ni ukweli zenye tunasikianga kuwa nini hamwezi, ama ni ukweli there is a way we can still maintain it? No.
Okay. Personally, and the way I understand, even back from my culture, it's good ladies, these young ladies, to be taught by the old or the grown-up mothers. Probably their grandmothers could have done it better. It's because they are in a generation where they don't even interact with their grandmothers. There's that saying, mwanamke alikuwa anaambiwa aziwa akifuata mwanaume kutoka nyuma. You don't keep chasing your husband. Today, we have now phones. Don't keep checking those phones. And if you do that, you will have peace in your family.
Why should we not check?
That statement, the mothers used to tell the young children when they were growing up, it was preparing them psychologically that a man is meant
To have chicks.
yeah, I'm not really that. The reality is there, and that's a reality, because the concept of one man, one woman is a Christianity concept. But when you look at it critically, we pretend in life. We are pretenders. And that's why, as I've said, when you get the mature women, will tell these young ladies, stop following your husband. The question was being asked, is he paying school fees? Is he providing food? They never kept on going further to ask whether it's wrong or not. With the thing that I got a message. They will never listen to that. They will ask you, are you provided for your children? Food and the other things. Probably the young generation should learn from what they used to do.
All right.
I want to disagree with Maurice, with with John here, because it is the same conversation that we were having and saying that if you want to see your man from the financial perspective, like you're benefiting from him financially, that is where the problem comes in. Because if you want me ni kuangalia on this side of like you're just a provider, then you're not my friend. For me, I'm here because you're providing. So that is why once the channel of providing in a katika, that is now where our problem starts. Because again, you want me to come in and understand that you're just a provider. You are there just to provide. So if as long as I'm okay with the finance part, then I shouldn't have an issue. I think that is wrong perception.
Let's hear from Thomas.
Thank you. Matters of relationships, they are not some flip of the coin and it's this way or this way and that's it. We have to understand a man from the man's perspective, because I don't want us to conclude and therefore put pressure on the other man and him be unable now to open up, because we have already like ruled that a man should be monogamous, should not have relationships, and when the desire comes for them, or they possibly have a side chick, now he can't speak because you have already made him not to speak. We should all maintain to be careful that we will not rule and get away from our intention of letting the man speak. From different cultures and societies, if a man is wired differently from a lady, in that sex to a man can be physical. Man can have relations with a woman and not love them. They can incur cost, air ticket costs, mtu atoke America akuje Kenya or vice versa, and still it is not love. It is a physical act with intention for instance to dominate, to, let me just, for lack of a better word, just to be a man, with no that strings, with no that emotion in it. And that is why if it is a lady who has other relationships, it becomes so hard for the relationship, for the marriage to continue, because the lady will even have now difficulty engaging with the person at home once they have engaged with someone outside, because in a way they love them. It is almost like love. You understand?
You know, why I raise this issue? There could be a situation whereby a man now is depressed because a woman left her, because the woman found out that this one is having a sex chick.
Yes.
You know, and he's going through that situation.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe out of this one, you know, we can also find a way of how to talk and help that person. Also, there is someone, a lady who's watching out of that. You know, you take to as women, we are also, you know, streamline differently. You know, we all believe when you utasema ndio hivyo, and when you tunachukulia, when sisi tunajichukulia, we think the same that you guys are going to behave. You know, so when tunaenda understanding, by the way, this is it for men, it gives us a point of to start looking on the forgiveness side and to be able to embrace. Hata kama nakwambia badilisha hivi, but sometimes when we are coming from a point that no goes on, kuna wenye tunaambiwanga ukisikia hivyo we walk away.
Yes.
We don't want to listen. But the moment you start learning that, okay, there is this part that is there, which is reality. Kama utaupata ni bahati, lakini hiyo iko. So find a way.
I also don't want to give leeway and a free room for the men to be philanderers and therefore to not have to account.
Yeah.
Of course, I think it also happens up to a certain age, and from a certain age, you make a personal decision and you have to grow some things. But the society is there. It's our moral compass, where we come from, what the experiences we have from other people, possibly even sometimes from our own. What is key is, at least one wise man told me, if you want to have a very good relationship, a very nice marriage, have some secrets. Just know how to keep secrets. Well, secret from the perspective of, in a way, respect. Because if you engage in some disrespect to your wife, walk on a beshte, anakupigia, anakuandikia I love you, which is not bad, by the way. It is good to be loved. Anakuambia I have missed you. It is okay. But someone else may not understand when they are seeing this message. You understand? So if you are able to keep your house in order and provide some respect to your spouse, then most of these issues should not be difficult for as we are going forward.
Wow, this is a very, I have a lot that I need to actually ask, but because of time, I want to say this as we deliberate and finish up. Should men separate with their wives in the event that they have unreconcilable, issues? What happens? Do you stick around? Do you move out?
Is it because this discussion is about men? Because you could still paraphrase the statement and ask whether ladies should separate. No, you are putting, you are making, no, I was just listening to you as you said that. But the answer to that one is, I think, it's not a debate. It is just straightforward. Okay. Yeah. There is, a marriage institution or a relationship should not be temporary. It should be permanent. Okay? But any relationship, of whatever kind, if it is not working, then it is not working. Yeah, no one, should be kept there to die there just because, you are supposed to be there. If you bring it to marriage, marriage is meant to work. Marriage does not just work. So you make it work for yourselves by doing the things that, make it work. And we have discussed a lot here before. So if now, it is not working, it means, in a way, probably, there is either party who has chosen to make it not work. And if that is the case, and it is not working, it is not working. You can, separate. And, separation is not divorce. Yeah, and if it gets to a point where, you have to get a divorce, you divorce. And you move on with the life.
Don't separate. It's the woman to make the decision. So you guys, you kind of,
no, they are no, they are
can't leave the woman. It is the woman to akiamua kukuacha na wewe ndo unaachika. Do you feel like you have a choice ya kuacha mtu?
Okay, I don't know exactly on what at what stage, but if it's a relationship, I don't think a man is to stay and suffer. No. In fact, he's the one who leaves the very early. At the very initial stage. Yeah, you could even relocate so that, or you just cut that person. They no longer have any contact with you. It should be as simple as that. It should not be a complex thing that, as a process, you have to begin here to here. If you feel this thing is not working, it is not working, say it and put a full stop there and then. And that's my take.
Your opinion on that as we conclude? Whether, a man should, when it's not working, ache mwanamke amue yeye kumwacha, but yeye anastahili kwa maana zamani amue tuku, or you can leave. It reaches a point you have to leave, You don't need to wait for the other person to cut themselves out.
It's not a straight answer. It's tricky, and it depends at what stage of marriage your marriage is in. If children are involved, remember, you are in the house of the husband. So how will the man move out? Will he move out, leave you with the children, or he moves out with the children? And that's why sometimes it's so difficult for men to move out when it's not working. In most cases, the reality, when it's not working, is the lady who moves out. In other words, marriage is something you keep on working on.
Yeah.
The man, now since he's not moving out, tries to work on. But in the extreme cases, as we have said, you may have an honest conversation. You discuss if it's the children, how the children are going to be, and then you plan that moving out. Yeah.
Wow, we can
Thank
listen
you.
to you, and then also listen to our viewers, their points here down.
Thank you. I believe the man and the woman should be intentional. A man should be intentional in his dealings with the wife and any other party. You should know exactly what you want and how you want it, and be able to communicate that. Be able to communicate that, because I have said it is the expectations which hurt. When you expect something which you have not talked about, you have not had time to talk about, then if it happens, then you start getting hurt, and it starts becoming like a confusion. But you have not talked about this thing, you have not communicated to the other party what you want. And it is from that background that I actually agree with my friend Andrew, that it is not, you make it work. And therefore, we have seen examples, men have left their wives. A man can build a house and leave the wife. Akae na anaenda anaanza familia nyingine from the scratch, and things start and happen. If you can see from the fingers of these gentlemen seated across me, they all have rings. Which means there was a place, and we were told from a Christian perspective that it should be purely monogamous, and it should be for life. In the Catholic faith, then there is no space for divorce. But the reality and the things on the ground, as possibly someone who has friends who are ladies, sisters, children who are girls, I'm not an advocate of the notion that a woman should serve a man. I want our ladies to be fully empowered and to also have their own life. But people should be able to compromise here and there to achieve the ideals. Research has shown that people who communicate and have higher standards and expectations of their better halves tend to have better relationships and long-lasting relationships. But the current world, we see instances of divorce. Even in America, the rate of divorces is very high. You get married, in 3 years you have separated, you marry again, and divorced. In our culture and the way we are taught here in our local environment, then you don't expect the man to run away, because it's like you are running away from problems which you are meant to solve, and therefore you stay. Shida zinaingia ndizo uongei na watu, you are not communicating your issues with, and finally the man is lost because first he has separated from his support base, and he ends up getting stressed, depressed, and what follows is suicide.
Wow.
Thank you.
Wow, that has been a mind-blowing kind of conversation. We want to go to our online viewers. As Asnet, you can read for us what our online viewers, keep them coming. We are seeing you here. Thank you so much for your comments. Let's hear what you guys have to say.
Okay, let me read some few comments over here.
Don
Dan is saying, the truth about men not speaking up, some struggle in their life is all about our nature. Sometimes we don't want to admit that we have failed to make it in this life. Again, Don is saying, I have a brother who disappeared from our family for over 30 years. When he appeared, he didn't want to admit that he has nothing, but he could always try to fake it, that he was doing astrology and
blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
He will be traveling to the moon and he still maintain that update. So at his age of 60 plus, he's never opened up where the rain started beating him.
Oh my goodness.
Some would rather die faking than opening up.
What?
Chepto says, I love the topic. It's real. It's quite amazing. Good for everyone to watch. Very interesting. Indeed, I have learned. Keep on. CPA Frederick Odhiambo, following the discussion, following nice discussion. Edna Mutuku is saying, very insightful conversation. Ben Metric is saying, the society will judge us and look down up our struggle, hence the reason why men don't speak up.
Wow. Wow.
Very interesting.
Very interesting. Honestly, those are very interesting feedback. Wow. We appreciate all your comments. Thank you so much for keeping with us. Thank you so much for your views. This is a discussion that we need to keep it going. We need to talk about it every now and then. I hope you guys, you're going to be there next time. Again, we talk about it because I feel like we still have so much we need to talk about. Because of time, we will have to conclude somehow. So I am going to ask you guys, maybe you give your final remarks on this. So we'll start with our far end. Maurice, kindly give your final remarks.
Thank you. To my fellow men, please maintain your social structures, your support base, be it family, friends, colleagues, so that you have some kind of refuge. Don't die alone. Don't die. We need you alive, so that apart from other things, at least you pay taxes.
Okay.
Thank you, our viewers. To those men who are watching, get somebody who you trust so much, who is very closer to you, to share with when you feel you are so down. And to the ladies who are watching, this you can do to your brother, your son, or your husband. Encourage him to have someone who is closer to him. When he feel that it's the end of the world, he can share with that person.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for this opportunity, and to our viewers and those who will view these videos later. You're most welcome, and we continue to follow your feedback, and we'll discuss more.
Wow.
My parting shot, I want to encourage everybody, men, ladies, but probably the men, to invest in what we call the social capital. Create friends. Friendship is a very costly affair. Friendship is not cheap. It demands a lot. You input and you grow it over time. Even with your own people, create friends. With your brothers, with your sisters, with your wife, with your children. Make friends so that you are not a stranger in your own place. And friendship is expensive. It demands a lot from somebody. You have to do it, willingly. And it must be intentional. The way, you meet a friend for a cup of tea, you can call your son, you have a cup of tea with him, your wife, your brother. Because I think there are people out there who have never had a time with even their own brother, a man and his brother, just out there to even share a drink. They call me the chairman of partakers. And those who are online, I'm welcoming you after this. You will also partake online, as us will be partaking in real, just shortly after this. So thank you so much. Find something to do. Find something to do. When you leave work, don't just, okay, I want to say this politely. Don't just rush home. Pass somewhere, take a cup of tea, relax a bit, get home when you feel relaxed.
Okay.
Pass somewhere, even buy a banana, it's only 10 shilling. Ukule, uende nyumbani, ukiwa umerelax. Nasikia it is a good reliever of stress.
Okay.
But the point is, don't operate like a machine. Have those social networks, enjoy time, enjoy this life. Don't live for other people. Live also for yourself. Thank you so much.
Okay.
These are my final remarks, viewers. Let me say, this is how we hack it as women. You should be able to differentiate your friends. Like, you should have a group of friends. Like a friend who will maybe financially helps you. A friend maybe who is a party friend. But a friend who also can listen. Men, kindly share, talk. Have that one friend who you can talk to, who will not be able to judge. And if you feel like someone is not listening, there are counselors out there. Kindly see a counselor. Then again, I will also encourage men. Have that one happy place. Love yourself, self-love. Have that one happy place that maybe something that when you do, you feel happy. Be selfish with yourself. Yes, because you cannot pour from an empty cup. Yes, you need to first love yourself for you to love others. So self-love, very important. Ladies, kindly, don't be selfish with your men. Allow them to go on holidays alone. That is how we hack it as women. We usually go on holidays on our own, just to go and self-reflect. So I will encourage women out there, kindly, let us not be selfish and hold on to our men as if they are like our possession or something. Kindly allow these men to go, have fun on their own, just for self-reflect. Yes.
Wow.
And then again, lastly, live according to your means. Yes. This putting on a mask and pretending to be someone you're not. Kindly, men, just live according to your means.
Wow. That has been a very insightful discussion. I would like to say this. I would like to encourage men to continue speaking even if no one is listening. Speak. Like, I wish that you guys will find a way that you will be able to feel that speaking does not make you less. Speaking actually, you should bring it to a point that speaking feels like easy for you to be able to feel better. And also, I would also want to say that let's try to achieve not to transfer these things to our kids or even our siblings. Let's bring a point whereby if we know that we don't speak, we kind of, even if not intentional, you'll find that your young brother will not be able to speak because he has never seen you speak. So you are continue transferring these generation traumas to one place to the other. So let's find a balance whereby we are saying that we are going to speak either way. Because one way of speaking, we are helping our brothers, we are helping other people who are looking onto us or looking on you to say that if someone can speak this, and I know he's of a very strong nature, they will be able to bring it up also. So thank you so much, viewers. I think we shall end there, but this is just the start. It may answer too. We are going to bring more of this conversation. Today was just about men. That's sisi ndo tulikuwa tunachokoza kidogo wa speak out. But next time we shall have a whole discussion now on one topic, whereby we want to understand. It will be like a little bit of a war because we need to bring these things out. In a way, we need to listen. And when I'm asking these issues, mimi, I'm one of the person that I will not have entertained. Simu sezi acha kushika. Hey, mwanzo nikiona inaniita tu. But somehow, because you're not even, like the way umesema parents, some of us, we are not even told this is wrong. I feel like, why? You should be an issue. My phone is there, you can pick. Why not yours? Though una pick, unaanza kulia. So I think these are things that when they are being spoken frequently, it make it easy for you to go through. It doesn't make, because sometimes when I feel ni kama wewe ndio unaonewa out of it, but it's only because maybe haujajua these are things that are there, and somehow it doesn't make you less. So I'll say that thank you so much for your time. Mazee, nyinyi ni watu waungwana, nyinyi ni wakurugenzi, akini awapenda na walombo to. Hiyo ni saying nasemaje na walombo to. I love you guys. Thank you so much for taking your time, for coming. Aww. I love you guys. I feel like crying. I love you. Like we have done it. Tulisema na tumefanya. Na tutaendelea kufanya ama ni aje? Thank you so much. So we can say what do we say? Ni kitu gani tutasema ya kuambia bye? Bye. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Thank you so much.
Yes.
So see you soon. We can take a picture here? Yeah.
Oh, Ashaka.
No, we can still continue as we do our thing. Come and take us a picture, Priscilla. Yeah. We sandwich you. We sandwich. They have there. So you can take mine as laughter. You are also getting us a good one.
Nice.
Tumesema tunataka muongee, kwa hivyo itabidi tu
Kabisa.